Hi there, it's Ashley. Today I'm creating a card using the Fur Babies stamp set from Ink Road Stamps. The card I'll be showing you how to make is a subway art style card with many words and phrases put together to create a background. I don't have a lot of background stamps, so this is a great way to create a DIY background and get more use out of your stamps in a non-traditional way. As you can see, this stamp set is great for dog lovers of any kind. These sentiments would work great with scrapbooking layouts too. I'll be demonstrating the Tim Holtz by Tonic Studios stamping platform as well with this tutorial. The cover can easily come off and be flipped to adjust for the thickness of either clear stamps or thicker rubber or cling stamps. Since I'm using clear stamps today, the clear word goes up and the cover goes right back into place. The base of this platform is magnetized to keep your paper in place while stamping. It comes with 2 circle magnets. I put washi tape around them with a little tab so they're easier for me to move around and pick up. Since my stamping is going to be taking up the majority of the space, I'm going to be putting the magnets on the very edges of this cardstock. It may be helpful to put down a small amount of non-permanent adhesive under your cardstock to keep it flat on this platform for projects specifically like this. Otherwise, you don't need that normally. First, I'm going to design my layout to fit in as many sentiments as I can. I also want to add the paw print to the background, so I'm making room for that as well. When creating your layout, don't feel restricted to only left to right. Some of my stamps go up and down as well. I believe that gives it more of an interest. Feel free to move around your stamps until it fits how you want it. You can also add small filler stamps such as a heart stamp or little flowers to any gaps after you've stamped your main background. It's important to remember to lay your stamps with the back side up when using the platform. This dog mom sentiment I'm going to highlight. I'm still going to stamp it there, but I'm going to kind of pop it up on a different piece of paper afterwards. But I'm still putting it there so I have it spaced out just how I want it. So I'm just finishing up here, filling in all the spaces, getting the sentiments in nice and tight so it gives it that subway art look. So after I get everything on there, make sure that my magnets are in place and touching the paper. And then I just put the platform down, give it a good push, and all the stamps come off on it. I'm going to be inking the stamps with Versamark watermark ink. It's a nice clear ink that works great for embossing. Before I stamp, I'm going to be using an anti-static powder bag. And this helps keep the embossing powder from sticking to the cardstock where I don't want it to. I'm giving the cover a good overall push down to get everything on there. If you find that the ink didn't transfer to the cardstock completely, you can always re-ink the stamps and stamp again. That's the really nice thing about the stamping platform. You can see the really cool watermark look that this ink pad gives. So you could always leave it like that and you'll have to give it time to dry, or you can emboss it as I'm going to do. So once I'm done, I'm going to prepare to emboss the sentiments. You could use a tweezer to help hold the paper while embossing and heat setting, but I'm more comfortable using my hands. I'm going to be using Stampin' Up's pastel pink embossing powder for this card. And I like to use coffee filters to collect excess powder. They're naturally anti-static, and I can then easily pour the powder back into its container when I'm all done, straight from the coffee filter. So as you can see, I did half of it, and then I turned the card the other side and did the other half. So all of the embossing powder stays right inside the coffee filter and doesn't stray. Then I'm going to pour the embossing powder right back into its container. Next, I'm going to prepare to heat set my card, and I'm going to be using my Wagner heat tool. I always make sure to preheat my heat gun for about 30 seconds before directing it onto my cardstock. This really helps to keep the paper from curling up on you from the heat, and it gives it a nicer embossed look if it's preheated. And that just means turning it on and facing it to the sky for that length of time. Once that's finished, I need to stamp the dog mom sentiment because I want that to stand out from the rest. I'm stamping it onto some pink cardstock using VersaFine ink and then embossing it with some clear embossing powder. Since my heat gun is preheated, it takes no time at all to emboss this. And I keep my clear embossing powder, since I use it so frequently, in a little plastic tub, and I use a little plastic spoon, and everything stays contained right in there, so it's ready to go. It's hard to see from this video, but that pink paper does have some shimmer to it. Once I'm finished embossing it, I'm going to be cutting down the paper to size using my Fiskars paper trimmer. Once I have this sentiment cut out, I'm going to put it into place with some double-sided foam adhesive to pop it up. As you can see, I don't like to waste any of my foam adhesive, so after I've used up the circles, I start cutting the rest of it up and using it as needed, using a titanium scissors, which is non-stick. As you can see, it was helpful to stamp the original dog mom sentiment underneath, so I had that spaced out to be able to put this one right on top of it. So next I'm going to adhere my stamped card base onto some pattern paper from the Paper Studio. It's from a 12 by 12 paper pad called XOXO. Then I'm going to adhere that all to my card base using my Scotch ATG gun. This card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is an A2 size. So there's the completed card. I think that this would be an excellent card to give to a new doggy owner. Here's another card that I made, very similar to the first one, just a different color combo. Well, thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to this channel for more crafty tutorials to come. Thank you!